saying farewell to one's research group after 22 years feels like a bit like when one's children leave home. And look at these children, how many beards they have grown. And so there was, I think, too much praise about my person today. Almost everything in my mind has been shaped by you here. And Uli is right. And even when Ralph remembers that even the cake ceremony at 4 o'clock was his idea, he could actually be right. The key point was always in ABC to get people together, rather than working alone, and to bring the brains together. And how do you do that? Get as much heterogeneity into the group. And we have had, on average, I think, at any point of time, between people from 8 to 10 different disciplines working together, and even from as many nations. Even if Shenghua complains there are too few Asians. There are tons of Asians here, more than Italians. And I love all my Asian postdocs and researchers, they bring presents. So the collective origin of the ideas I think is something really important. And I remember from the book, our first book, Simple Heuristics Make Us Smart, which we have created a new genre. It's not an author-written book, it's also not an edited book, but it's a multiple author-written book with individual chapters. The chapters have always more than one name, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, but in reality they have been written by many more of us who are not on the paper. And also I remember the fights about each of these chapters where some of us has put in so much writing which never appeared in the authorship, but it didn't matter because it was anyhow ideas of many of us. And at this point, at the early ABC group, we were so small that we could actually, everyone knew what everyone else is doing. That is, so 22 years later, it's no longer possible. If I know about half of the research, maybe a little bit more, then that's about the capacity that I have. What should I say here in response? What is this? Yeah.
Don't
I also want to emphasize that much of the success that we had is also due not only to organizing an environment, but to sheer luck. I had lots of luck hiring my first group. And I was very lucky to persuade those who were with me in Chicago, including those who were not with me in Chicago, like Jean, to go over. And I remember very much when I went back to Germany, one of my fears was that I end up as a director whom nobody criticizes. That means intellectually dead. And I knew that my own students that I had in Chicago, Uli, Ralph, Dan, and Peter Peter Sedelmeier, would never hesitate to criticize my ideas. And that's why I was so happy that they came along to found this institute here. And Jean is, actually, she told you the story, but the part that she didn't tell you is, I didn't know her. I only asked Dean whether he knows immensely smart and daring students. And he pointed to Gene, and we had on a Friday a pizza at Medici, a so-called chunk pizza. Garbage pizza, yeah. And then I explained to her what the proposal is, and asked her, are you joining? And Jean, you asked me how much time do I have to think about it, and I proposed Monday. And on Monday we met again, and Jean said, I'm coming. And this just illustrates the how important it is not only to have people who know lots and who are intellectually superb, but also people who take risks, who dare, who take chances and immerse themselves in something new project and try to build up something from scratch. And I also had luck from the very beginning to come across Peter Todd, whom I met at the Center for Advanced Study in Stanford. And then he visited us when we were in Salzburg. And he was together with Jeffrey, and we tested Peter with local blood and liver sausage, and he was the only one who dared to try it. So you do all kind of tests in order to, and these tests are better than personality tests. David Funder is still here, but I would suggest to go to behavioral tests. And so I was lucky in many respects to have people who were daring, who were young, and who also had a vision in very different regions. Peter's evolution and psychology vision. And then we had people from cognitive science and later machine learning who all contributed immensely, and I learned. And my main task is to have a vision and then to integrate all of that. And also try to design an alternative to what's called rational choice theory, or what is called the study of small growths, and show that one can do formal modeling for the real world. And so, although the ABC family will no longer be working under one roof, the revolution that Herbert Simon and Ralph cited Herb's nice call for the revolution in cognitive science that he thought we are fleshing out, the revolution will go on. And it's on all of you. And we've seen, I've got this wonderful picture which I have to study with all the fingerprints, where everyone is sitting, and it's on you to spread the message. Take heuristics seriously, rather than, so the explanation of just people's stupidity. Take uncertainty serious, rather than reduce it to risk and probability theory. And also help to make the people risk savvy. Help to handle them and to do something what we need in a participating democracy. That if we do not make the general public risk savvy, then democracy will not function. And so our journey started 20 years ago with a kind of lone boat in Munich with lots of leberkäse and sausage and Schweinebraten and Weißwurst for breakfast. And with your help, it will continue. And I am not out of the road. I'm still around. And it will continue with a full fleet of ships for many, many years to come. The journey will go on. And thank you all for being here, for setting up this wonderful and exciting day. And I had not imagined anything like that. And It is the greatest gift I could have received. Thank you.